Hello friends, welcome to Thermomix Adventures. Lisa here. Can you let me know if you can hear me today if you're watching on, because things are a little different today. Not planned, not intentional, and a little stressful. But I think I'm here and I think you can hear me, which is really cool. And I hope everything is a-okay on your end. So I've had a request for a beautiful bread dish called Pizza Bianca. Now, I'll tell you a little more about why it looks a little different around here today than what it did yesterday in a moment. But yeah, I had a request from a customer yesterday saying, I'm really flopping at my breads. Can you help? And I was like, no worries, I'll film that tomorrow. So here I am, tried to turn on the camera about an hour and a bit ago. And my trusty computer that I got actually when we all went online during that crazy season in 2020, it's been playing up lately. And I thought it was just not having good days. Well, it seems that it's ready for, do you retire computers or do you bin computers? I'm not sure. But I've spent the last hour 15 trying to make it work. And now I've got my little tiny one that I use for day-to-day business. This one usually sits in the cupboard, so you would normally not see this big computer. It does all the brain work for all my filming. So it brings these three cameras together. It puts it on a screen in front so I can see people say hello. I'm sorry I won't be able to see you today, but please say hello. I will come back later and read your comments. So it's decided that November's a good time to hit the dust. So I'm very terrible time of the year to break. Anyway, maybe there's some sales on, but I am actually really eternally grateful. Now, I'm going to take a moment to talk about something that I don't talk about very often, and that is actually Patreon. And I get a lot of questions about Patreon. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I really have no idea if I'm talking to myself today. So on the very rare occasion I have made mention of Patreon, and it's not something I do all the time. I don't want anyone to feel like they need to support me in that manner, but it was actually created early this year on request from those that wanted to support me on a regular basis and believe in what I do in turning up, and even if it was just once a month or a once off of, hey Lisa, if you lived near me, I would have taken you out for coffee. So, here you go have a coffee, those sorts of things. Now, I'm no good at taking something for not nothing. I mean, I turn up every day, but I feel like I owe it back to you guys. So I do additional videos in there. Every fortnight I put a post up and it's on a theme, and it's 6 additional videos. And it's not just about, hey, these are Cookidoo recipes or these are other recipes, but it's actually why things work the way they do, how they work, the troubleshooting, right? It's the picking Lisa's brains because she's made the mistakes before and grabbing that knowledge as well. So that is Patreon. That's what it's there for. If you want to check it out, you can. No obligation, no pressure, okay? It is set up, well, Patreon itself is a subscription style service, but you can turn it on and off as you want. I believe you can go back and see the previous stuff as well. So it's not that you just get the new stuff, you'll get access to the previous stuff. But yes, it's another support method. And on that note, when this happens, I am incredibly grateful that I have those who have financially backed me, because I do not feel anywhere near as stressed about having to buy a new laptop to power my videos as I would be otherwise. Because the type of laptop I need to do this is not just a normal laptop, because I'm bringing all these devices together in one platform to share with you. So I'm very, very grateful. Thank you to those of you who are on Patreon who back me and support me over there. And anyway, I'm going to make pizza bianca today. I'm going to show you how easy it is. If you've ever had flops with bread, I've got some hints and tips for you today. If you are watching on, say hello. If you have friends, and actually the biggest thing you can do to support what I do is share these videos. Your friends don't know what they don't know, so they don't know if Thermomix can make their life easier. They don't know that they might have a Thermomix, but they don't know that they can make pizza. They might still be buying it, and let's be real, that is insanely expensive these days when I can make it for a couple of dollars. So today I'm making pizza bianca. If back in the day you ever had a demo, you may have chosen this. It's actually one of the ones I do on a regular occurrence at demos. This and the creamy coconut chicken on regular. And if you want an online demo, let's do it. Okay, I was going to say, wait till I get my computer sorted. But I can do it. I'll make it happen for you regardless. But anyway, let's get on to this. I'm going to type into the screen. I love on the TM7 that I can type into the screen. I can feel my heart racing still. It needs to just, whew. And it's a really warm day. So I don't know if it's just like flashes or whether it's the warmth or whether it's my heart racing. All of the above. Okay, you can see this one here, Pizza Bianca. All right. First thing we do in this recipe is you see it takes 10 minutes. It's total time 40. It serves 8. You've got 2 ingredients that you can either put on the top or inside. Both is beautiful. If I ever do a pizza night, we put the herbs in it. I'm going to go start. How good is being able to just do this on the screen? Hey. Preheat the oven. I'm not putting that on to the last minute because, as I said, feeling a little flustered today. Line a baking tray. Place. Now 2 garlic cloves. I'm out of fresh garlic, so I'm going to use this. So in using this, I want this to chop well, so I'm not going to put it in first. I'm actually just going to go tick, and I'm going to put in my 3 sprigs, or one it's not a big, one medium-sized sprig. I'm going to chop that for a second. 4 seconds, speed 7. Hey, I know where my lid is. I've got a new routine. You'll be pleased to know. I've asked the kids to put it in a little container, so I know where it is. Yay! All right, let's press play. Okay, next. Scrape down the bowl with a spatula, and it says to chop again. Let's have a look at it. Needs longer chop. It doesn't help that like 3 sprigs would have been a bit better. I'm going to just quick it up on the speed a little bit. Rev it up at the end. Okay, let's close that off. Next, transfer to a bowl and set aside. It actually didn't do great at all today on that for whatever reason. Let's just put in my 2 cloves of garlic and we'll do a rechop. Alrighty, let's go back. Set as current step. Let's see if it does better having something in there. Normally cuts it to like the tiniest pieces when I do it in a demo, but you know, nothing wants to work today. So I'll just, whatever happens, happens. Feeling defeated. Transfer to a bowl and set aside. That actually chopped better. So, in usual Lisa form, I didn't get one out. Oh dear. Alrighty. So, I'm going to just put this on my spatula. This is your topping for later. However, pizza night, leave it in your bowl and just make your dough on it. We don't clean out the bowl. Stay there, spatula. Thank you. Next, we're going to place into the bowl 220 grams of water. Oh, fantastic. Somebody has taken my water jug away. We're going to come back to that. We'll put our 2 teaspoons of yeast in. Now, normally they would heat this up, but I really get the vibe today that I do not need to heat this up. Whether that's just me or the actual temperature, I'm not sure. I think I've just found all my teaspoons that are missing from the drawer too. They look like they're in the yeast packet here. There's at least 2 that I can see. Now, if you have the little red barrel of yeast, that will work perfectly fine. Maybe you've got the little silver sachets. Hello, Lorraine. Lovely to see you on today. Yeah, use what you've got. I never put sugar in. Oh, I've got a cup. Let's use my cup. That will work. Perfect. I think the kids must be outside either watering, killing the weeds with boiling water, or potentially filling up their seedling trays with water. That won't be hot water. Okay, 220. Okay, there we go. And look, it's running off to give me a tick. Got something sorted today. Next up. So we've got, it says warm it up. As I said, I don't think we need to warm it today, so we can just skip it. Okay, baker's flour, 400 grams. Now, if you are making this for your pizza night, you can do a 1.5 batch. So do 600 grams of flour, and it works out beautifully. Okay. Also, you can make 4 pizzas from that then. Okay, so you can make 3 pizzas. At the standard batch, you'll get 2 thickish crust, or you'll get 3 really thin crust. Okay. All right, next up we've got oil, and then we've got salt. Now, you might have heard me say it before, but I'll say it again. Salt and yeast do not love each other. They actually kind of impede each other, so don't put them side by side or on top of each other. So we're going to put in 1 teaspoon. Wow, that's really empty too. Nope, and it's sticky and humid, so it's stuck. Where's my other one? Is it Friday yet, friends? I feel like it needs to be Friday today. That's what I feel like. And you know what? I've actually got all this Christmas stuff so the other morning, yesterday morning, couldn't sleep, 4 a.m. So at 4:30, I thought, surely it's appropriate now. The birds are just starting to come out and the sun is just starting to come out here in Queensland. So I thought, must be a good time to get my computer out and do some work. So I sat there in bed before anyone got up yesterday and actually did some Christmas planning for all my videos for Christmas for you guys. And put together a little ebook and things like that. I had so much fun with everybody else getting out of bed yesterday. And yes, and so I'm all psyched and ready to go and start filming Christmas content for you guys. So I'm so devoted that this computer's gone. Now I'm going to have to not only get a new one, but wait for it to arrive. We're already into Christmas, shopping season where things are going to take a bit longer. And it's not just one that I can go to Harvey Norman or somewhere and get, because it's got to be one that can handle the processing of 3 videos and audio and a monitor all in the same go. Like, it has to have a decent brain within it. So it's not something I can just go and grab anything off the shelf somewhere. So anyway, that's okay. We can do this, right? Adulting. All right, 2-minute knead time. When we knead, our Thermomix needs us. So stay close when we are kneading. I'm glad to see people saying hi and watching on today. It's lovely to see you on, and it's good to know that you can hear me, because I was like, I don't know what you can see or hear or whatever. I just don't know today. It's not my normal. So next up, we're going to transfer this to a mat. Now, the trick to a good bread, pizza, loaf of bread, scrolls is proving. You are going to have to check YouTube tonight to see what I do with this dough, because this part's easy, right? Anyone can put food in a Thermomix, follow the instructions, and get to that stage. Where we all struggle is beyond that stage when it comes to shaping and using our dough. So can you do me a huge favor? And tonight at 6 o'clock, pending the fact that technology continues to agree with me, the rest of today, and I don't start touching things and everything stops working, tonight at 6 o'clock, I will put up the what I do with this, the tips, the hints, the how to make it so it's fluffy and light and like you'd buy it, Baker's Delight, okay? But I can't show you now because it needs to prove. And it needs to prove until it gets fluffy and fills out like a pillow. So at the moment, the dough is going to be very tense. The gluten has worked really hard. The Thermomix is stretching it, pulling back and forth, pulling back and forth. This is when we stay around our Thermomix, remember? So when we get it out, it's really hard to do anything productive with it because it will continue to elasticize back in. It'll retract. So we need to let it prove, and it relaxes that gluten, so then we can do something with it, whether that is to make scrolls or whether that's to make bread rolls or whether it's to make naan bread or whatever it might be. But the next step is the important step on how to make it so that it doesn't lose that fluffy airiness, so you don't get rock bread, okay? So I'm going to love you and leave you. If you need a hand with your Thermomix, reach out. If you've got a video you'd like me to do or a recipe you want me to convert, I'd love to hear from you. I absolutely love it. And I love it when you guys say to me, hey, I'd love to see this or that, or how do you do this or that? So please don't ever hesitate to reach out. You'll find me on my website, TMXing Adventures, okay? Also, we have an extension to trade up. So if you have a TM31, TM5 or TM6, you can currently get a reduced price on the TM7 by sending back your other one. So if you want details about that, I'd love to hear from you. And those of you watching on who have previous models, or you had a previous model, check in with your friends who introduced you to the Thermomix years ago and make sure they know, because sometimes it's just a reminder to them that actually can make the world a difference. So please do go and check in with those people and say, hey, you still got your TM5? You're loving it? You're using it? Hey, by the way, you can get a discount trading it in and getting a 7. And by the way, I have a consultant who can look after you. Remember to tell them that as well, okay? So this is what dough looks like after a 2-minute knead in the Thermomix. I do love how clean it comes out. Now I'm going to wrap this in a Thermomat, but because I'm obviously a little brainless more than usual today, I didn't get it out. So I won't get that out on camera, but you'll see it on the YouTube because that's what I'll unwrap it from, and that's also what I'll shape it on. Do those of you who've been around a long time, you might remember when we travelled in the caravan, I forgot it one of the trips, and my thermomat, and to the point that I only lasted 2 days or something before I got on the Mix Shop, which, by the way, has a sale on today. If you didn't know, Mix Shop Black Friday sale, 20% off. Don't know for how long, don't know much more than that. But remember to check my name's display before you hit the checkout button. So I actually got on and ordered a thermomat and got it sent to the rural regional post office that we were closest to, because having a thermomat keeps your benches clean, it keeps it flour free, it gives you a space to work on, just makes the proving easier. Cling wrap is not the same, friends. I tried. It's not. So yeah, so the thermomats are amazing. Highly recommend them. Just don't chop on them because I'll let you chop through it. But this is going to be wrapped up nice and square. And when it fills the corners and looks like a pillow, that's when it's ready. But yeah, this at the moment is literally a big rock cake. If I cooked it like this, it would just be dense and hard. The bubbles haven't had a chance to grow yet inside, the gases. The yeast has not had a chance to relax. So this would be very unpleasant if I tried to cook and eat this now, okay? So I'm going to wrap it up, and I'll pop on and do the second half of this video in a little while and check it on YouTube tonight. Okay, friends, I'm back. Let's move Thermi out the way a little bit. You know the TM7's got a glide wheel put into it, so you actually don't need a glide board, which I do love. I've got a thermomat that I'm going to cook this on, and I've got the most beautiful fluffy dough. Now it's definitely ready. The texture has changed, and I'm just going to flip it onto my silicone mat that I'm going to cook it in the oven. The oven's preheating to 200 degrees, and this is just gorgeous. So the texture has changed. It is now fluffy. When I put my fingerprints into it, it actually holds my print. If I'd done that earlier, it was so stressed you would not have been able to do that. So what I'm going to do now is I could roll it out. I should roll it out. Anyway, I don't know if I've got a roller. Let's have a look. I do. I have two. This is actually probably not the best thermomat. I probably should have picked a larger one. Just means I'm going to have quite a tall focaccia. Or I should, you know what I could do? Divide it in half. Always use something like this to cut so that you don't cut your silicone ware. Look how beautiful it is to work with. And it doesn't really require, this is why I love the thermomats and stuff, because it's so gentle to work with. And this is a thing, we don't want to manhandle this. If we manhandle this, we are going to have a whole lot of trouble turning it into something. So rolling is fine, but re-kneading it, not fine. Otherwise it's just going to tense up, and we don't want it to tense up. So we're going to roll this out, make a nice big rectangle ready to go on my tray. By the way, if you've got Nirvana pizza oven, I don't know if that's in the Mix Shop sale, but if it is, get yourself one of them for Christmas. Making your own pizzas is so easy when you've got the Nirvana. And you can put this well floured onto the paddle. In it goes. It takes like less than a minute. Okay, so got myself a big shape. We're going to put onto it we're going to put some fingerprints. Now the fingerprints are for holding. There is something in the Mix Shop called I think it's called a good docker. Hopefully I'm not making that up. And it puts little fingerprints in it. Okay, so you could use that. I don't have a docker, but I have fingerprints, so that'll work. So I'm going to spread this out with my spatula. And you can imagine there's two big pizzas, right? It'll be beautiful. Then we're going to add some of this topping that I've got from earlier. Just put half of it on, since the other half will go for the other pizza. And then we just want to sprinkle some salt in a moment. And then this goes into a really hot oven, and it takes about 12 minutes to cook. That's it. It's as simple as that. The trick really is stretching a dough after it comes out of a Thermomix, not kneading it again. Okay, it's a stretch. I will show you some tips with the other bit on how to make bread rolls. I'm just putting a sprinkle of salt on the top. Okay, that is literally ready to go in the oven. Okay, now let's get this other piece over, and I'll just show you some tips. So if I did want to turn this into a bread roll, okay, you actually do not knead it. You stretch it. So I'm going to take off a portion on the end. Now, first thing you can do is, if you want to do it with especially kids and want that who want to help, do a different method. Stretch it, tie it, and I haven't worked it. Can you tell? I haven't kneaded it. I haven't done anything to it. And now I've got beautiful bread rolls that my bacon and cheese will sit on. Okay, so I could do that. Otherwise, I can do, so if I've got a square like this, or a rectangle now, I stretch. So I'm going to fold in half, And then I'm going to take the top and I'm going to stretch it sideways and push it underneath. And I'm going to go sideways and stretch and push it underneath. And I'm going to keep doing this until I get a beautiful ball on top. I'll get a bit of a pinchy underneath so that all the little tops will pinch together. So see, like that, like a little money bag. But there you go. That's how you make a bread roll. It's as simple as that. Like that. How cool. So I am going to make another big focaccia though with this. So what I'll do is I'll tuck these in underneath. I haven't overworked it, okay, but I'm going to do this to stretch it back in. You won't need to do this. You would have just used yours straight away. Just going to stretch my dough over, like wrapping a present. Push it down, and now roll it out. Now, if you find you do play with your dough and it gets too hard to work with, simply stop and reprove it. Okay, wrap it back up and reprove it. This is actually a different texture now because I did play with it. Actually has a different vibe to that one over there. It totally does. And that's purely from the fact that I stretched it out before and I did something with it. So, stretching this out. Okay, there we go, fingerprints in. Different feel now because I'm working it for a second time, but that's okay. It'll be all right. Just won't be quite as fluffy. It'll still be beautiful. Won't be tough. You're going to end up with tough if you re-knead it. Spread the oil around. Okay, now you could use other toppings. You could do tomato paste and cheese. You could put parmesan. Like, don't feel like you're stuck with what I'm doing today. Okay. Alrighty. So there we go. Spread that topping out. And then, as I said, into a 220 for about 12 minutes. And this is going to be ready to go. So there are my top tips for making amazing pizza bianca. Okay, if I had a bigger mat, I would have just done one big one. So it's one big focaccia, but otherwise, that's how you do it. Give this a go. Tell me what you think. If you need any help with your Thermomix, I do love to hear from you, so reach out. But making focaccia, easy once you see and you know how. So that was Pizza Bianca straight off Cookidoo. So share this video with those around you with the Thermomix, but otherwise take care, and I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.